Hello and welcome to our exclusive webinar on Portugal Golden Visa through Investments in Real Estate 2022. My name is Afsana Rahim Lakhani signing in from Lisboa. I am the moderator for today's evening. This webinar will help you understand the upcoming changes, answer all your queries, and work out the optimal route for you. TLG's webinar brings together experts from residency and citizenship sector, property market, and media. Key topics that will be discussed today are investment, Portugal Golden Visa 2022, the details of Golden Visa and success to date, overview of 2021 real estate market, what makes Portugal the most attractive option, updates on new government pricing announcement, and 2021 data and trends. Before we dive into our webinar, let me do a quick temperature check. We would request you to turn your audio and video off at all times. Keep your devices on silent mode to get most out of this webinar. If you have any questions during the presentation, please type in the chat box. We will have time for the questions towards the end. Let us start with our webinar short video on Portugal.
Why do so many investors fall in love with Lisboa? Easy. There's no other city that combines this beautiful view with the beauty of these numbers. Lisboa is the closest European capital to the United States, South America and Africa, with 250 departures every day, and being the only capital in mainland Europe sharing the same time zone with the British capital, with more than 300 days of sunshine throughout the year. Lisboa is surrounded by more than 20 wonderful golf courses, only 4 train stations away from the beach, and just 1 hour drive from Nazaré, home of the biggest waves on the planet. Selected to be the 2020 European Green Capital, Lisboa transforms ecological concerns into reality, being the first European city to have a municipal fleet where 100% of light vehicles are electric, a huge recharging network with more than 540 stations, and 100% of the city lights running with LED technology. Innovation and adaptation are part of the mindset, with 90 colleges that produce 30,000 graduates a year, with 60% of them in business, tech or math degrees. No wonder Lisboa attracts global investment from all around the globe into our entrepreneurial community, an ecosystem dedicated to helping new businesses, where 2 new startups are created every day. With more than 100 co-working spaces spread all over Lisboa, and with a 90-kilometer bike lane that reaches all corners of the city. It's so easy to enjoy the view commuting to work, using one of the 2,150 shared bikes and 5,500 soft mobility vehicles. How about this? Lisboa is well known as a city that embraces diversity and welcomes all kinds of races, ethnicities, and religious beliefs. All that in a city with 7 Michelin-starred restaurants, and this sunset included. So, how about investing in Lisboa? Lisboa, the beautiful side of business.
Amazing. And to show the beautiful side of this business, we have our 4 amazing panelists. So let's start with our first panelist, who is Paresh Karya, and he is the CEO of Equest Advisors. Mr. Paresh is a chartered accountant with rich experience for over 20 years across banking, investment advisory, real estate, and immigration. He has worked with reputed organizations like HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, and ABN AMRO Bank at senior levels in areas of investment advisory and private banking. Let's welcome Mr. Paresh, and the forum is all yours.
Thank you, Afsana, for that wonderful introduction, and thank you, Rahim, for giving us this opportunity of sharing dais with the esteemed guest today. Uh, all of us are very excited about this opportunity of the Portugal Golden Visa. We are seeing a lot of traction on this front. We over the last, especially in India, we are seeing more and more people are looking at Portugal Golden Visa. So before we dive into our presentation, a little bit about ourselves. We are an immigration advisory firm based out of Mumbai, the financial capital of India, and we specialize in business immigration and investment immigration uh, to Europe and North American countries. And over the last few years, we have helped many clients migrate to US, Canada, Portugal, and UK. A little bit about myself. Afsan has already said that, you know, I mean, I have been, apart from being a banker and real estate realtor, I've also been writing. I like to write a lot, and I've been writing and blogging on various platforms. And I've also been doing TV shows and videos on various subjects related to finance, investment, real estate, and immigration. Right. So let's move on to our presentation. Let's see, let's talk about why Portugal Golden Visa is one of the most, popular immigration program today. So to start with numbers, let us look at the numbers first. Can we have the next slide? Yeah. So the Golden Visa program had started in 2012. And over the last 10 years, we have seen that more than 10,000 Golden Visas have been issued to investors from all over the world. These are the individual visas issued to investors. It does not include their family members. So over the 10 years, more than 10,000 golden visas have been issued, and this is a proof of the fact that the program is live, kicking and running. Many times people are very skeptical about this kind of programs. They want to know whether the program is really genuine, whether the program is really working, whether people are actually getting golden visa. And this is the data from the SEF website, which is the official government website. And from we can actually see that the program is quite popular and lots of golden visas are being issued. And like any other program, we can see that over here, more than 50% of the visas have been issued to Chinese nationals, right? Followed by Brazil and Turkey. So this is over the last 10 years. But if you look at the recent trend, if you look at the numbers for February 22, you will find that, over the last 2 years, we have seen more and more US nationals have been looking at Portugal Golden Visa. And this is reflected in the number for 22. You can see US nationals to whom golden visas have been issued. Their top chart, they are in ahead of Chinese investors at the number one position. And later on in the presentation, we will see why more and more, Americans are preferring the golden visa. Also, Indians are fast catching up. Portugal golden visa is becoming extremely popular. Over the last 2 years, we have been talking to clients in India. We have been doing road shows. We have been doing seminars, webinars, etc., to educate people about the opportunity in Portugal and how they can use it as a gateway to enter Europe. And all are the efforts of all the players in the industry who are working in the Indian market is now paying off. More and more Indians are looking at the golden visa route to enter into Europe via Portugal. So now, again, this is an article. This is a data which is picked up by a recent article. This article was published about a month back in India's leading daily, The Times of India, which shows that among the Indian investors, Portugal is the most preferred program. 2 years back, I remember EB5 or the US Green Card program was the most popular. And today, we can see that Portugal has replaced EB5 as far as Indian investors are concerned. And if this is a trend to go by, we can see that more and more people increasingly will go in for Portugal Golden Visa. So India is a very promising market. A lot of Indians are looking at Portugal Golden Visa. Right now, let's move forward with the presentation. Let us look at why Portugal is such an attractive destination. Let's talk about the Portuguese weather. A lot has been said about the Portuguese weather, but at the cost of repetition, I would like to say once again, Portugal is located in the southwest tip of Europe along the Atlantic Ocean. And because of this location, it enjoys a perfect weather all year round. The minimum temperature in Portugal during winters is about 6 degrees centigrade. And that is what we have over here in India in cities like Delhi, Ahmedabad, etc. And the maximum temperature goes over there about 28 degrees. So especially for Indians, this weather is perfect. It's ideal. Many of us Indians, we do not like the cold temperature in other countries like Canada, UK, etc. But the weather over here is perfectly suitable for us. The second important factor is that Portugal is considered to be the third most peaceful country in the world. This is by the Global Peace Index. And this is a very important factor, particularly in the current recent times where we are seeing there are a lot of disturbances happening all over the world. There are controversies. We know what is happening with Ukraine and Russia. And it's precisely at times like this that we need to have a safe haven for our family, for ourselves and our family, to take care of them in case of any eventuality. and Portugal provides just that. I'm sure you would have not heard about Portugal being involved in any controversy, any conflicts, etc., anywhere. In fact, even during World War One and World War Two, which were happening right in the heart of Europe, Portugal was more or less neutral and stayed out of it. Right? We have many clients whom we have been talking to. Can you go back, please? Yeah, we have many clients who we have been talking to over here. Some of them are saying that no, we have put a decision on hold because there is a war going on in Ukraine and Russia, so we don't know what is going to happen. Now, we have to say that firstly, the war which is happening between Ukraine and Russia is happening right in the eastern part of Europe. Portugal is right at the extreme end, and it is in no way directly affected by the war. The second thing is we are seeing that as a result of the war, people in Ukraine are having, there are more than 50 million 5 million refugees who have to flee their country and move to other countries, and they are in a desperate situation. So it's precisely for situations like this, you need to create an alternative residency or citizenship plan. You never know. This kind of plans actually work as an insurance. You never know when an unfortunate event could take place. There could be war, there could be economic crisis, there could be political crisis, there could be some other disturbances. So it's precisely for situations like this, which we know they don't know when it may come up. But if you have an alternative plan, you are prepared to face them, and you can take care of your family and yourself during such unfortunate situations. The other thing in favor of Portugal is that it is a very warm and welcoming country. Portuguese, by their very nature, are very warm and friendly, and they believe in relationship just like us Indians. And with India, Portugal has an old connect. We all know that Goa was a Portuguese colony. And another fact which some of you may be aware about is the fact that the current Portuguese Prime Minister, his ancestors are from India. Another important factor why Portugal is so popular is relatively low cost of living. Most of you would have traveled to Europe, countries like Germany, France, Switzerland, etc., and you know how expensive things are in these European countries. So compared to that, the cost of living in Portugal is very low. It ranks 22nd on the Ranker Index, cost of living index for Europe. And even with an amount of 2,000 or 3,000 euros, you can enjoy a comfortable life in Europe, in Portugal. So all these factors make Portugal a perfect destination for retirement. If you Google the best place to retire, you will find a number of articles, and in all those articles and all the surveys, etc., you will find Portugal featuring among the top five. Right. So that's the reason why people are getting attracted. You will find more and more Europeans now, even UK and Americans. People from here are moving to Portugal. They are taking up residency. They are buying property and creating an alternative plan, and also a retirement plan for themselves. Right. Another important factor in favor of Portugal is that it provides a very powerful passport. The Portuguese passport is ranked either at number 5 or 6 in annual surveys, and it surprisingly it is ranked ahead of passport of countries like US, Canada, Australia, UK, etc. And this is because of the Portuguese passport. With the Portuguese passport, you can travel to more than 180 countries. Can we have the next slide, please, about the Portuguese passport? So you can see in this map over here all the countries which are in green: Canada, USA, Mexico, the whole of South America, South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, Malaysia. All these countries you can travel visa free with a Portuguese passport. Now, there are many clients whom we approach. They want a quick fix, they want a passport very quickly, and they're going for Caribbean passport. Well, a Caribbean passport will allow you to travel, but then the travel is restricted to very few countries. It's mostly Europe and UK. It will not give you access to North America and many other countries, developed countries like Australia, New Zealand, etc., which a Portuguese passport gives you. Not only that, you can see the countries which are marked in blue in this map, the European countries. All these countries with a Portuguese passport, you can not only travel freely, you can actually go and live and settle over there. Because with a Portuguese passport, you become a citizen not only of Portugal, but of the entire European Union. And you can freely travel and settle in any of these European countries. We'll talk more about that in the later part of our presentation. Right. Right. So let us quickly summarize. I'm sure you would have most of you would know about Portugal Golden Visa. What is the process? What is the timelines, etc. I will not spend much time on that. I think we'll have other panels, other guests on the panel who can talk who with more authority on that subject. So let us talk very quickly. Just summarize why Portugal Golden Visa is getting so popular. First and the foremost, the process is quick and easy. It's a you get visa purely through investment. Unlike many other permanent residency programs from countries like UK, Canada, Australia, etc., you don't need to score any points. You don't need to give detailed documentation in the support of your finances. You don't need to give any language test. You don't need to prove any management or work experience. All you have to do is simply invest money in a property, and you'll get your golden visa. The second part about Portugal Golden Visa is that it covers your entire extended family. We have many clients coming to us for migrating purpose, and they want to take, especially in India. We believe in a joint family, and a lot of people would like to take their parents along with them. Most of the other programs that we spoke about earlier do not allow you to take your parents. Portugal is one of the programs which allows you not only to take your parents but also your spouse's parents. And not only that, you can also take your adult dependent children up to the age of 26 if you are able to prove that they are dependent upon you, which by and large means that they are studying and you are paying for the fees. The other attractive feature about the Portugal Golden Visa program is that a flexible stay requirement. You don't actually need to live or move to Portugal and stay over there. All you need to do is just spend 7 days in a year in Portugal to maintain your residency conditions. And after maintaining your residency conditions for 5 years, you become eligible for citizenship, of course, subject to the language test. So, unlike other programs which require you to move to a particular country and start a new life over there, there is no such requirement in the case of Portugal. You can continue to live in your home country, you can manage your affairs, you can manage your business, just travel to Portugal once a year, spend 7 days over there, and you will meet the conditions for residency. Another important feature is that once you get a citizenship of Portugal, you become, a citizen of the entire European Union, which means that you can live, work, and stay in any of these 27 European Union countries like France, Germany, Spain, Sweden, etc. Not only that, your children can study in schools or colleges or universities in these countries, and they can also get fee waiver and fee benefits just like a resident of that particular country would get. Also, you will be entitled to healthcare benefits in any of these 27 European Union countries where you decide to reside to. You will get subsidized or free healthcare just like the citizens of that country would be entitled to. And of course, then we spoke about a powerful passport. So all these factors make Portugal one of the most popular golden visa, residency programs. And that's the reason why program is becoming so successful. We have seen, especially during the COVID time over the last 2 years, that the entire citizenship and residency by investment industry was going through a bad time. The Portugal golden visa, there were more and more people applying for the Portugal golden visa. Now let us look at why. What are the reasons people are looking at golden visa program? First and the foremost is they're considering it as a backup plan. Like we mentioned earlier, that Portugal doesn't require you to move over there. You can continue to live in your home country, and purely by just making an investment in a property in a Portugal, you are able to create an residency option where you can move in case it's like an insurance, like we mentioned earlier, that in case if the situation turns unfavorable in your home country, in case there is a war-like situation, political crisis, economic crisis, you have an option to move to Portugal with your family. Other important reason why people are looking at Portugal is for the children's education. We all know that Europe has got some fantastic universities and education institutions. The quality of education is very high, and many of the clients, they want their children. Their children are already studying in Europe, and some of them are planning to send their children to Europe. So, with if you have a after getting your Portugal golden visa, if you have taken up the citizenship, your children, like we mentioned earlier, can study in any of the education institutions in Europe. and they will be entitled to fee benefits. Not only that, the bigger benefit is after completing their education, they will be able to procure a job very easily. They would be able to participate in this university's placement programs. And as we know that in case of Europe, we have many clients. I have friends whose children are studying in Europe, and after completing their education, they are finding it difficult to get job over there because in Europe, after completing their education, the first preference is given to EU nationals when it comes to job. So if you have European Union citizenship, your children will be able to get a job easily in Europe and settle over there. And also, we have seen that Portugal is also serving as a retirement plan. We discussed about that, why various factors are making Portugal such a popular destination for retirement. Apart from this, of course, there are various other tax benefits also, especially for people having passive income. So will not be discussing that in detail over here. We can always set up a meeting with us for one-to-one discussion on the tax benefits which Portugal offers through its NHS program. Right. Now, how can we help you with the Portugal Golden Visa program? Right, we are a team of qualified professionals. We have experience in the area of immigration, real estate, investment, banking, and we have got hands-on. We are one of the few people from India who actually got hands-on experience of doing Portugal Golden Visa over the last few years. We have helped many clients to get into the process and get the biometrics done. They have been able to travel to Portugal despite the COVID situation and travel restrictions. We have managed to get them to Portugal, and some of them we have even got their biometrics done for the golden visa process. We have well-established relationships with people like Rahim and various other lawyers, property dealers, etc., in Portugal to help you with completing your investment process. We can also help you not only in Portugal. What is important is that one needs to keep in mind that, especially if you are doing your golden visa from India, there are certain steps and processes which need to be completed in India. And some of them are quite complex. We'll talk about that later. And we can actually help you with that as well. You need to get certain certification done. You need to get certain documents translated in India. You need to get your police clearance, criminal certificate or police clearance from India, and you need to remit funds from India. When it comes to Portugal Golden Visa, there is a certain restrictions in the way the money can be used to purchase the property. And also, from India point of view, there are certain restrictions on how you can send money through banking channel outside India. So you need to have a knowledge of both this, the banking process in Portugal as well as in India, in order to conclude your investment. So we have helped many clients with this process as well. Right. So with that, I will conclude my presentation. Thank you very much, Rahim, and I will allow you can take it forward the discussion from here. Thank you very much, all of you. Bye.
Thank you so much, Mr. Paresh, for enlightening us with various insights on the data as well as how Indians are approaching this market and applying for Golden Visa, not just with regards to real estate, but also with regards to investment fund. So there are a few questions that we keep on hearing from Indians. As I am from Mumbai, and I also get interacted with those people, and especially on social media. So there are several questions. So I would like to highlight few here. You are aware of the changes that happened in 2022, and coming from that kind of mentality, does it still remain that cheaper the better is the solution, wherein now 280 categories also on board? So what kind of categories are these your clients are basically looking for when it comes to golden visa?
So our clients are looking at various options. Obviously, the preferred option earlier was the 350,000 investment in cities like Lisbon and Porto. I mean, these were the cities which were always preferred. We all know that, it's when it comes to real estate investment, the location is the key, and a prime location in a city like Lisbon or Porto, you are always assured that not only will you get appreciation, but also it will be easy to rent out the property, and also you can expect a good return out of that. So even now, I know we know with the changes, Porto and Lisbon are no longer accessible as residential properties, but the clients still prefer that. And I understand that you still have that option, which I'm sure you're going to talk about in later part of the presentation. So it's those kind of solutions, where people would be happy to invest in cities like Lisbon and Porto if they have an opportunity to invest. So that will always remain the preferred option. Other than that, people are also looking at, the 280,000 category investment option, but there essentially people are not looking at buying a property and renovating it themselves. They would like to hand it over to someone to manage it. But there we all know what are the risks and concerns related to those kind of properties.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, absolutely.
we-
So this gives me an understanding that people are not just thinking of getting the citizenship or the passport, but there is a long-term opportunity to get the yield back, or as well to invest in a property which actually will give them a good return value a few years down the line, couple of years down the line. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yes. Any questions from the panelists before I go on with asking my questions? Rahim, you're on mute.
I have a question, but Dr. Marley or Galam, do you have any question that is specifically like an India type question or a curiosity? Do you have anything top of mind?
No, no. For now, it's totally clear the presentation of my colleague. So, congratulations for the presentation. I think that we could have a great partnership with the 7X Portugal Fund too.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah. We look forward to that. Dr. Paresh, I have a question, which is how is the awareness level in India at the moment, given that you have, literally every street and nook and corner that you go, there is a big board that is posted called Canada, you know? And when it comes to that, and you're competing a new country altogether, like how is this kind of awareness there about what is the golden visa, what is not a golden visa? Is it too complex? Is it easy to understand? Are there too many variables? Like, how is the client really getting the message or not? What is your local data set here?
Right, right. Well, things are quite different, Rahim, now. When we started with talking to our clients about Portugal Golden Visa just before the COVID, about 2 years back, that time there was a lot of curiosity. People were not aware about the program, and people were not even aware about the location of Portugal. And even now, when we start a presentation in a longer version of the presentation, we start with the showing the world map and where Portugal is located and what are the locational advantages it has. But over the period of last 2 years, we have seen, that there is greater awareness. People know about golden visa. There are many people who are interested in looking at this program. They are aware about the technicalities also. So the awareness is increasing, but again, it's not at a mass scale. Something like Canada, which we gave about example about Canada, is that happening at mass scale because you don't need to invest money to move to Canada. You just need the express. About the express entry program. About the. So most of the people want to go there for job opportunity, right? To very few investors, there are very few people who the awareness among HNI, the right segment for Portugal Golden Visa would be the HNIs. So that is certainly there. Whereas Canada is a different product; it is for masses. That
So
is what
what
I would
is
say.
it? What is it that the Portuguese professional crowd, like ourselves, like Lerm, like Marley, should do to kind of increase that awareness that this is an option that is available? Like is there an advice for the panel here?
Yeah, I think keep sounding, keep repeating. I mean, the more noise that we make, the more people will be able to reach out. So that is what I would say. Just keep on having events like this, webinars. I think social media is a perfect platform. It reaches out to a lot of people. We use it quite extensively. So through social media, through this, I mean, a combined effort of the industry will help in creating awareness and reaching out to a larger section of the targeted population. We need to target it at the right people, and to reach out to the right people, we all need to make efforts.
Do you think it also has to do with the limited number of days that you can spend when you get this Schengen visa entry? Because a lot of times when people come here to see the properties, they have to go through a very long process to get the visitor visa, and which is not like similar to if you compare with US or Canada, where they get 10 years of visitor visa in the
Yes.
first entry.
Yes, yes. So that is a very big attraction, that the Schengen visa that you get, because getting visas for to European country is not easy from India. Every time you have to apply, you have to give a lot of documents, you have to give a lot of details. And currently, I'm struggling to get my visa appointment. I want to travel to Portugal, but I'm not getting a visa appointment because the Portuguese embassy is shut. I'm trying to reach out to embassy over there. Things are not happening, and nobody's ready to accept the application over there. So we have to come via some other country, and even in that, even for countries like Switzerland and France, the dates are available only after 2 months.
Yeah.
So something like this, and during COVID, of course, it was absolutely shut. So people who like to travel freely, especially to Europe, this would be a big advantage. Once they get a residency, they will be immediately able to travel to Europe. And if they have patience, they can wait for 5 years, 6 years. They can take up a citizenship and they can get a very powerful passport. And that is a big attraction in India. People want to have an alternative passport.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mr. Paresh, for being so patient with us and for having this amazing presentation with apt information and being genuine to us as well. So thank you so much, Mr. Karya. And let's move our guest towards next panelist that we have here is Mr. Guilherme Grossman, who is a managing broker at eXp Realty. He's a consultant that offers a full service for its clients and has a sophisticated and selected portfolio of upscale and high-end apartments and villas in Portugal. They also provide immigration consultancy and process organization for Golden Visa program, as well as structured investment for international investors interested in real estate development and real estate income products in Portugal. Nowadays, he also develops his business model in several countries, mainly in Brazil, Russia, UK, China, France, Israel, and Singapore. And they're always there to support their partners on digital platforms. So let's give our platform to Mr. Guilherme Grossman. Here we go.
Thank you, Afsana. Can you hear me good?
Yes,
So,
we can.
good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with you all. So, I'm originally from Brazil, but I'm living in Portugal for more than 30 years, where we always work in the real estate market here. We done a lot of different projects in Portugal, especially new developments. And in the recent years, we are very focused on the international market, especially Golden Visa. And we've done few projects already, few clients. And recently, in the last year, we bring to Portugal EXP Realty, that is one of the largest real estate company in the world now, is growing a lot. And nowadays, we are with a very good tool to promote Portugal, because our company is a very international company. We are in 21 countries. We are 80,000 agents worldwide. And as we are not a franchise, we are one global company that have a very interesting network. We have a metaverse that we can talk to our clients, to our agents worldwide. So it's very easy for us to promote the Golden Visa Portugal all over the world. Uh, so this is our proposal now, uh, to help our agent and our clients that want to promote the property, and those who want to invest also. They can contact a local partner in XP. We are in India with 1,000 agents. We are in South Africa, Brazil, all states of US. So it's very easy to find an agent from EXP that can reach us later on. So we have a lot of the Portugal team, and I especially have a lot of experience dealing with Golden Visa. We have an interesting portfolio here of Golden Visa Lisbon, Porto, Algarve, also real estate funds. So we have a selection of properties and solutions for our clients that can fit for sure their needs on investment, depending if the client is moving to Portugal or just willing to have the golden visa, just an investment. So we have different solutions to any client that want to come to Portugal. And we also have, if the client needs, we can also provide the legal support for them in Portugal to deal with all the documentation and all the necessary needs that he needs for before and during the process of golden visa. So just to clarify that we are a full service company in this team. So we have experience, done a lot of already golden visa in Portugal, and we are able to support and get anything that anybody needs. So this is my first presentation. So I don't know if anyone have any questions for us, for me, and to see how we work and how can we support the clients.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Gilherme. I think it's a most exciting platform for having a real estate, especially for the youth, and so much that you can connect. And you are in so many countries altogether, and it feels like your avatar is traveling to all of these places for the conferences, and it's really, really appealing. And I think it's really good, especially it was in COVID. So I want to know that how is the virtual real estate market being a part of the system in our day-to-day life when the things are getting opened up and people, like, would want to actually touch, feel, and see the bricks and mortar. So how has this made changes in your program, and what are you planning in the future? What is your vision for the EXP in the future?
Makes a lot of difference because before I joined XP, I need to travel to India, to Moscow, to Russia, Brazil, China, everywhere. Was very expensive, a lot of time consuming. And nowadays, I don't need. I can do everything in our metaverse world. I can meet people. I can show my properties there. We can even start the process for the client, open the bank account while the client is still in their country. So it's much more simple now, the process, and more cheaper for everyone and more quickly. So and but by the other hand, all the processes are similar from what we do. We still go to visit the property with the client, go to the lawyer, go to the municipal authorities. So this doesn't change. What helps is the beginning of the process that is much more agile, much more quicker, without needs to travel to meet and to that is take a lot of time consuming and is very expensive also. This was a big change for us.
Yeah. So how different EXP Global Real Estate is from Idealista or any other, like, Magic Breaks and those kind of platforms?
We are connected to all these platforms in Portugal. So our property are shown all over the main portals, inside our network as well, because we are not a franchise company. We are one big company, and all our agents have access all over the world to our information, to our property. So nowadays we are 80,000 agents worldwide.
Wow.
Uh, we are every month we open a new country. We are going to open Chile and Dubai now this quarter. So it's a very interesting market for us, for Portugal, as we live a lot on the foreign clients. We are working very close to Brazil, to South Africa, to India. So we are already making presentation to our teams in all these countries. So this is very interesting for us. It's a new world. It's a new way of communication and integration to facilitate a lot our life. and can make business much more quicker and much more easy, for us.
And how accepted exp world is, like, because it's a virtual real estate. Of course the houses are physically there, but since the platform is virtual, do you also have virtual cryptocurrency platform where you act like, are you accepting, are you open to do that, and what is the vision for this?
Yes, for sure. Last week we have a presentation on crypto coins and blockchain, and we're going to have a new one next month. So we are very connected to that. Portugal have done already some deals on crypto coin. So this is something very new for everybody, but it's something that XP is already aligned on that and working. So it's a new market for a new way to deal on the market. That as we are a very innovative company, always trying to be ahead of the market, we are always trying to be connected with the new uh, tools that happen, new situation to help the clients to provide the best service for them as well.
Right.
And
Amazing. Thank you.
Portugal is being very
Yes.
well accepted. We are growing.
Yeah.
In US, we are number one already in transactions and number of agents already. We are the biggest independent company in the world now, and so I think we're going to grow a lot in Portugal and can give a very good support for our clients and for our agents as well.
That's amazing. Thank you, Mr. Gilherme. Any
Thank you.
questions for him, for Mr. Grossman from our panelists?
Yeah, Glenn, this is very exciting. Just for the audience to know as well, we've joined the EXP family, a few weeks ago as well, and
Welcome to the family.
has been very, very good to learn about what EXP stands for, the value system, and its entire chain. It's actually very exciting world, and that is where we are also aligned in terms of where we see the world going towards a more virtual real estate concept and whatnot. What I'm curious about is if we have agents within EXP that has brokered uh, virtual real estate also while brokering physical real estate. I don't know if there are already cases in that. Do you know?
Yes, not so many, but happen,
It
already
has.
happened. For example,
That's
we
interesting.
have a new software. It's called Frame, that
Mhm.
it's kind similar to our XP World or our virtual office, but
Okay.
much more easy to join. And for example, our team in South Africa already closed some deals while the client were inside the office.
Okay.
So this is, of course, not all the deals are done because the clients wants to visit the apartment, wants to touch. It's a very important deal. But when you talk with investors, they only see the numbers and the viability of the project. So it's much more easy for a golden visa client that not coming to live here, just investing
Yeah.
to close a deal without coming here. It's possible to do it.
That's fantastic. I think the
Yeah.
follow-up question will probably be from Dr. Marley if they can do golden visa through virtual real estate. So maybe that is where the world will go. Who knows,
And
right?
Yeah, let's see.
that would be global visa, right? Not
Yeah, global
just
visa,
Portugal.
global
Yeah.
passport.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, back over to you, Sana.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Grossman. I can see a lot of
Thank
smiling
you.
faces because you have just set the trend of where this world is going, and it's going in a very, like, speed pace, and we are here always to catch up with the speed. So thank you so much, Mr. Grossman, for enlightening
Thank you.
us
Thank you very
about.
much, everyone. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And let's move our guest towards the next exciting personality in the room. And we have Miss Marley Esteves, who is a graduate in law and master's in legal sciences by the Faculty of Law of Universidade Católica Portuguesa, who is also postgraduate in legal sciences by as I mentioned that she's from this university. She focuses her legal traineeship in immigration and foreigners law, tax, real estate, and corporate law. She has written master's theses and criminal tax law entitled as Causas de Justificação de Desculpa em Matéria Tributária. Excuse my Portuguese. And yes,
Perfect.
here we welcome her. We are very proud to have Miss Marley to our webinar.
Thank you very much, Afsana. It's a great pleasure to be here in this webinar. I would start to thanking to the Lacani Group by the 7X Portugal Fund, who is a very close partner and who work with us a lot. And I will be very pleased to introduce and some myself and some explanations about the Golden Visa in this webinar. Thank you very much for the invitation, and we could start talking about the Golden Visa. So this slideshow it's about our firm. We are an independent law firm resulting from the integration of two law firms in Lisbon, Pact Lawyers and Oreda Cunha Lawyers. And for more than 10 years, the firm has specialized in advising on foreign investment and planning operations for restructuring exits or high net worth clients in order to optimize their investments and access possible risks and contingencies. We are located in Lisbon, but we make work in all country. And if any of our panelists are interested, we are totally ready to help him or she to go with us in this trip. What is investing in a golden visa? So let's start talking about the golden visa. The golden visa it's one of program for any person who may be interested in obtaining a residency permit in the European Union while performing at the same time a profitable investment. Portugal offers special residence permit for investment activities, better known as golden visa. This is a type of visa that my colleague explained very well. So it's a type of visa very interesting for foreigner nationals who want to obtain a free access to the European Union territory without any restriction and no necessity of any actual permanent in that territory, with the exception of some days per year that will better know in our slideshow. The golden visa, as better described below, is a residence permit which can be obtained through a venture capital fund or investing in real estate. But as my colleagues, panelists speak about real estate, I suggest to put our focus in the venture capital fund and investment through a venture capital fund because it's great advantages, and could explore this type of investment. What are the advantages about investing through the acquisition of units of investment fund? There are many advantages. Simplicity in the investment process, no tax on the purchase of the product, no tax on the maintenance of the product, no annual tax, and reduced taxation on exits, 10%. I don't know if any of our panelists and customers know about these type of advantages, but for our point of view, it's a very great opportunity to invest, and we have many simplicity in the process. We have, in comparison of other types of investment, we could say that invests in through a venture capital fund, it's simpler acquisition process than if it is with investment made through of a real estate purchase, or there are no taxes such as EMT, is that real estate transfer tax or stamp duty, associated to the acquisition. It does not have an annual tax associated with property ownership, such as the IMI, does not require the investment to be static for the 5 years compared to the transfer of 1.5 million euros, and there are no delays in negotiations or in the conclusion of the deal and work, such as those that arise in the acquisition of property for urban rehabilitation. There are many adventures through this type of investment, and how the process goes on. We could go ahead. Yeah, thank you. The rules are changing sometimes, and we discuss with Raim about these changes, because immigration authorities normally per year make some changes, and we will have to be duly updated. But nowadays, the process for obtaining a golden visa it works like this: we have to open a bank account, make the investment, we prepare all the documentation with our partner. For example, if with the 7x Portugal Fund, we deal all the documentation that it's needed to submit the process. We deal all, we arrange and deal all the issues that could happen with immigration authorities. And the second step, it's the investor has to apply for a Schengen visa, but it's simpler things when we go to the Portuguese consulate and show them that we have a process going in Portugal, the issuance of the golden visa, issuance of the residence visa to the Schengen visa to come to Portugal. It's faster. We apply for the Schengen visa, and the client came to Portugal to the final interview, and then we wait for the final decision, and then the client have the golden visa. This is how it works nowadays. In what concerns to the renewals, the residence, the golden visa, is like other types of residence permits here in Portugal. They are validity. The residence permit, in this case, the specific golden visa, granted for a period of 1 year and may be renewed for subsequent periods of 2 years. This is the general rule, because when we in the COVID situation, the immigration authorities changes this rule, and the first year, when we apply for the golden visa, the first period, it's not 1 year but 2 years. The general rule, it's 1 year, but it could happen if some specific rules like COVID situation that some changes, but the general rule, it's 1 year, and then we have to renew in subsequent periods of 2 years. After the 5 year, the holder of the residence permit may apply for a long-term residence visa that have a duration of 5 years, automatically renewal, or if the investor wants, we could apply for the Portuguese nationality, which my colleague Paris Carria talked very good about the Portuguese nationality. What is the requirements here to stay? Because sometimes our investors are concerned about the time that they have to spend here in Portugal, and the golden visa has a great advantage that the investor could only stay here in Portugal for the minimum requirement 7 days per year, which means that the investor could came here for the holidays, and then the investor could go again to their country, or for when they want, and have the residence cards still valid here in Portugal. The other item that our clients want to know, it's about the government fees. The government fees are annually updated. We have first fee for the investor and the family reunification, that is 533 years per application when we submit the process. And then for the issuance of the residence permit, we have 5,325 years per person. And then in the renewal, it's half of this price. These values are annually updated, so these are the fees during this year, but we could have any updates in these fees. I want to mention one thing that I think that it's very important, and it's a great advantage too. My colleague has already spoke about it. It's about the family reunification. The golden visa could have and could bring the holder of the residence permit may apply for a family reunification, and what this means is that the family reunification is eligible, and the investor could bring the wife and or the husband and the children and parents. So this is a great advantage. The investor could apply for the national for the citizenship after the 5 years, and could stay here in Portugal for 7 days per year or more if the investor wants. And I think it's a great regime to ones that want to invest here in Portugal here. So if you want, I'm totally available to help you in this trip and to clarify any doubt that you have.
Thank you so much, Marley, for your presentation. And I think this shows that how it works locally here. I think we are getting very multidimensional perspective on from the international level to going on the field and understanding the nitty-gritties at a very ground space. So any questions, any queries from the panelists? So I can hand it over to them since we are running short of time.
I have a question. So, Dr. Marley, I think one of the things that connects you very closely is the reality of the immigration system in Portugal. You are connected very closely. You speak with the immigration people almost on a daily basis. So, can you give us some insights on from the ground level, what's happening on the ground, what changes are to be expected? If there are any new news from that side that our international audience would appreciate.
Yeah. Nowadays we have here it's a little issue about with the immigration authorities. It's regarding the change that's came into force for 2002 from January, because since January we could not acquire any property in Lisbon or Porto for house ending. So this change, it's mandatory to update our manual of proceedings and the decree law, and our government don't update this the manual of proceedings. The immigration authorities has stopped to analyze the procedures until all these procedures can be updated, because it's mandatory to be updated to the clerks know what are the new requirements and what are the paperwork that it's needed. So what we know now is that we are the immigration authorities, and we as lawyers, we're making every effort and make pressure to the government to update all the pairs and platforms to put all this new course, and that we have this solved soon. We have a new that the immigration authorities is changing our the specific of the immigration authority and the formalities are changing. It's We have news that it's beginning of May, but the government change this data until the end of May. Next week, I will have a new meeting with immigration authorities in order to know more information is updated, and then I could inform you about what the information that we get. But for now, we have to wait until the government updates the new rules that make into force from in January on.
Afsana?
Yes, all right. Thank you so much, Ms. Marley. And I would, due to the short of time, I would directly hand it over to Rahim for his last presentation that we have. Just a short introduction that he is the CEO of the company and he will be talking about investment capital fund, which is 7X. Rahim, over to you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, everyone. I think we had a very good session in terms of encompassing, where we stand today in terms of an international market. So, thank you so much, Dr. Karya, for that overall picture that you've given, from that standpoint, how we are doing from the real world versus the virtual world. So, thank you, Mr. Grossman, for that. And coming back to reality on what is happening in Portugal on the ground and how the investors' expectations should be set in terms of the actual process. So thank you so much, Dr. Marley, for giving that. In this entire mix, what connects everything is our investment fund called 7X, which brings a very interesting and a new angle of how investors should really look at making an investment. At the end of the day, why we bring this structure to everyone is very simple. It is not just a golden visa that people really look for. It is an actual investment. It is the hard-earned dollars and euros for many people. This could be, in some cases, a lifetime of money for some. So these should be actually treated as actual investments and not just buying a passport. Okay, and that is why we present this 7X fund, where our target return is at a 7%, and we invest in very strong projects of hospitality, of student housing, and development projects that aims to actually achieve a double-digit return for our investors. And the most important part of all of this is that it's a completely hands-off approach, rather than being in Portugal, buying a property, knowing about everything about the Portuguese laws of tenancy and laws of being a landlord and dealing with income taxes and dealing with social security or the IRS. I mean, it's not, especially for the HNIs and the ultra high net worth individuals, it does not make sense to do this given the time perspective, and hence the fund. I think the fund basically answers this particular thing, that for those guys who are just ultra busy in their lives and makes no sense to buy a single property in Portugal, either 280 or the 500, it makes sense to invest in the fund and get a strong return, no tax on entry, no tax on maintenance, and a very low tax at the exit, or no tax if they maintain a non-residency from a tax perspective also. So hence we present to you this investment fund. Please feel free to contact us for more information about the prospectus, about learning about the management team, about the securities in place, about the supervisory board, because we have a lot of checks and balances in place, and it's a government approved fund, so it brings a lot of credibility to the investment itself. And then now we have a lot of development channels and experts like Dr. Karya to manage the flow of funds from international locations like India or Dubai or elsewhere. And we have other people on the panel who have this global expertise in achieving the goals of immigration and of investment. So that's all I have to say. We'll be happy to send out all the materials for review, and feel free to contact us. Okay, so thank you, Afsana, for that, and back over to you.
All right. Thank you so much for amazing participation. We have got several inquiries from different social media platforms. It will be accessible to you. We'll send you a report on this. And I hope it was an insightful and educational webinar to all of us. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you. Have a pleasant day.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye.